Services Manager at National Services Scotland, and I work in the Marketing and Communications team. Throughout my career, I've worked in a variety of sectors since I studied French and Italian, believe it or not, at Glasgow University more years ago than I care to remember. This has included engineering, finance, drinks industry, design and advertising. And I really enjoyed my time in the drinks industry, and on my first business trip to an Italian sales conference as an interpreter, I came home clutching an order for hundreds of cases of whisky, which was a real morale booster. I spent a number of years working in graphic design and advertising as an account director, so my responsibility was to go out and get the business and project manage it through to completion. I joined NSS in 2008 as a Senior Public Affairs Officer for the Scottish National Blood Transfusion Service. And since then, I've held a variety of roles within NSS, although all relating to communications. I have a responsibility as Deputy to the Head of Marketing Communications, along with one of my colleagues. My specialism is leading on the NSS brand and the creative outputs for NSS. And by that I mean video content, the annual report or the strategy, as well as patient and donor facing leaflets that we produce for the Scottish National Blood Transfusion Service. I'm privileged to work with an amazing creative team though. It's not me that actually does the creative work. But the importance of an organisation's brand can't be underestimated, and you just need to consider other brands, the likes of Virgin, Apple or Nike, to consider the impact that this has. I'm working with the team to refresh our brand guidelines and strengthen the NSS brand, which is supported by the Connected Communications team. Our strength is as one NSS. However, my role has a much broader remit than just Creative Services Manager, and over the past 9 months or so, I've been leading on communications for the NSS COVID-19 response in terms of testing capacity, which has been very full on at times. You may be familiar with the weekly stakeholder bulletin. I've also been supporting care home testing communications and provide communications advice to colleagues across NSS, whatever that is. I've really only been in my current role for about a year, as I've had a variety of posts within NSS. I've mentioned being a Senior Public Affairs Officer at the Scottish National Blood Transfusion Service, but I've also been Editorial Manager, Communications Manager for part of procurement, commissioning and facilities, and I even did a secondment as the Head of Marketing Communications before returning to my substantive role as Creative Services Manager just over a year ago. So I've been privileged to have an opportunity to progress my career in what I consider to be an amazing organisation. And that's always how I describe NSS when people ask me where I work, because I genuinely feel proud to work for an organisation that touches so many aspects of healthcare. Some of my most memorable achievements during my time at NSS has to be including leading the organisation of the Garden Lobby event at the Scottish Parliament for one of the Scottish National Blood Transfusion Services anniversary, and indeed the dinner at Stirling Castle to celebrate the contribution that blood donors make. Handling out of hours media at the time of the Ebola outbreak was a tremendous learning experience and certainly stood me in good stead for a role in media management going forward. Leading the team that managed the communications for the opening of the Jack Copeland Centre is definitely up there too. However, I think my proudest moments are when I see the people that I lead thrive, embracing the opportunities that they're given and really achieving results. I'm a great believer in fairness and equality when it comes to women, and I have to say that the organisation supports everyone in the workplace, not just women. More than 20 years ago, I held board positions in the private sector and have been referred to as the token woman on the board. However, in NSS, I see women achieving results and holding really responsible positions. For me, International Women's Day is a chance to reflect and celebrate what women have achieved in terms of equality and opportunity. There's still more to be done, but from my own experience, things have moved on substantially since my time in the private sector. I heard in the media this week that the number of female directors in the FTSE 100 firms has increased by 50% in the last 5 years, and that women now hold more than a third of roles in the boardrooms of Britain's top 350 companies. Granted, it's had a political push behind it, however, that's quite an achievement. I don't often reflect on what I've achieved professionally or personally for that matter. However, International Women's Day helped provide a focus, and I'm sure I'll be celebrating with the women and the brave men in my life.